Good day, everybody. My name's Scott Rosenberg with Xrock 1039 Radio, coming to you on behalf of Color Red Records and M&R Rush. M&R Rush has been a part of the Chicago music scene for over 40 years. They've been playing gigs and recording original music along the way, of course. And their newest release, their debut EP on Color Red Records, is Goodbye City Lights. It's fantastic. We're playing it in regular rotation here on Xrock 1039. And it's available for your CD tray or your turntable right now as well. With us today are the band members of M&R Rush, Marty Martirosian, Jeff Hertz, Carl Mosier, John McFarland, Paul Martin, and Jeff Loof. Good day, guys. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
How are you?
Good to hear from you guys again today. I haven't seen you all together in one place in quite a while. Also, we're pleased to have Nick Houchins of Color Red Records joining us today. Nick, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be with you guys.
Thank you for being here. I'd like to ask you, Nick, and perhaps have Marty join in also as well on this and tell us about how M&R Rush and Color Red Music came together for this new partnership.
I was introduced to the band by a friend of mine, Lee Popa, who's also from Chicago, an old producer, engineer who's worked with tons of rock legends. And he introduced me and Marty, and we totally hit it off. And I loved what the guys were doing. And they were talking about getting out some new music. So we really wanted to get their fans some new stuff because they'd kind of been dormant for a little bit. We wanted to get fans excited again.
Absolutely. And you guys did it in grand fashion. Nick, I've got to hand it to you and Color Red on the packaging and everything with the new EP. I'm holding the vinyl in my hands right here, right now. I'll autograph my copy here by everybody in the band. And I love the vinyl on this as well. Nick, could you talk about how kind of, vinyl is back, and a lot of folks like me are loving it. How has it changed things for the labels and made things interesting or challenging or anything along those lines?
It was challenging during COVID because of the high demand for vinyl, just because I think the excitement has come back around so much full circle. Older fans and younger fans are being introduced to, especially younger fans introduced to the vinyl. And I think people just like to have something in their hands to hold and, to see and to set up there and to listen to. I just think it's a great product for bands to have, especially if they're at shows. Fans get excited about it. All our vinyl is pressed on 180 grams, which is the highest quality you can do. We like to have good art, and people like to read the lyrics in there as well. I think it's really helped the industry, especially for artists, just because it's another income stream they can have as well. With so many people streaming these days, there's really not a ton of money in that. It's kind of a shame how little bands get paid for each stream. Another thing we've been working on with these guys is trying to shop their music for licensing and synchronization deals. We want to get them onto movies, commercials, things of that nature, also to get them some other income streams. That and with the vinyl has really helped have bands these days, figure out their balance sheets with so much little money coming in from streaming. We're trying to get their vinyl into Japan. We're hopefully going to have that here in the next month or so. Also in Europe. As anywhere we can get it, really. And we're kind of working on that distribution. It's been a little tough since COVID, but now everything's kind of opening up again. So we really want to get this music out to the world so all the people can enjoy it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nick. I'd like to kind of go back to the beginnings and talk to the guys in the band here about how just the longevity. You guys have been together, stayed together. It's the same band, although we can call Jeff the new guy, I guess, because he joined the rest of you in 1980. I was still in high school then. But my first concert was M&R Rush back around 77. Roger, what do you attribute to the longevity of M&R Rush? What's kept this going and vibrant for so long for you guys?
Well, that's pretty awesome that we were your first concert. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, I just lay the groundwork out for the band and they just follow along with whatever I said in the last 50 years. Really, that's how it works. But now, to be honest, we have a true bond with these guys together. It's amazing how 6 guys can be together and still be friends. Love of the music is a lot of what brought us together. We love each other, man. It's just one of those things where we just want to continue doing what we're doing. We love it. And I can't say enough of how much it's hard sometimes for 6 guys to get along, but it's amazing how we do. It's like a family for sure.
Brothers.
Absolutely. John, there are so many great music venues in the Chicagoland area, especially when you guys are starting out. And I remember how busy M&R Rush was playing live during those formative years, especially. It seemed like there were commercials on the radio all the time about, the M&R Rush is here, M&R Rush is there. Talk about those early years, that heavy schedule that you guys were on.
Well, yeah, actually, right out of the gate, we were fortunate to, first of all, we managed ourselves, and Marty took on the role of being doing the bookings from the band standpoint. But right out of the gate, besides Marty making phone calls, we got hooked up with Vince DePaul and Associates, same management group that was managing Styx in the early days before they got signed to A&M Records. They were still on Wood Nickel. So right out of the gate,
Roseland alum with you guys.
Exactly. Well, we basically are from the same neighborhood, Roseland. Sure. And we got hooked up with them just from a booking standpoint. They weren't managing us, but they were booking us. And then there were other booking agencies at that time. There was Blytham Limited and a good friend of ours, Jim Lenz. And so, yeah, there was just a good vibe giving us the opportunity to play all these various venues. And again, opening up for Styx, even though they hadn't been signed yet. They were drawing in extremely large crowds. So all of a sudden, there were 1,500 kids in the gymnasium to see Styx. Well, they saw us, and it created a buzz. And we went from playing high schools and colleges. From there, we went to the colleges, and then from there to the bar scene in Chicago and all the college towns. And in our heyday, we were playing 250 dates a year in about an 18-state area in the Midwest. We pretty much stayed a Midwestern band. But, yeah, the word got out, and all the various booking agencies were helping us, along with Marty doing it himself, too.
You guys have shared, as you said, the bill with so many of your Chicagoland contemporaries, other national bands. And is there a show maybe that comes to mind, maybe some sort of one of those strange pairings where you say, oh, we're doing a show with them. We're really going to have to win over this crowd. Does anything come to mind like that?
Yes.
Well, I think I don't know who wants to take that one, but I think it was was it Iron Maiden?
Judas Priest.
Judas Priest. So who wants to take that one?
I do. So it was WLS Rockfest at Arlington Park Racetrack. It was an all-day event. It started at like noon, and Judas Priest was the headliner, and they were going on at like 9:00. And it was general admission. Think about that for a second. So the Judas Priest fans got there at, 9 a.m. to get in line. And then they got all the way to the front of the stage when general admissions opened. And I believe there was like 6 bands, 5 or 6 bands. From reverse order, it was Judas Priest, Head East, us, a band called the Catholic Girls, and then another band before them. And so the first band goes on, everything's good. The second band goes on, Catholic Girls. Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. There were, 4 or 5 girls dressed in Catholic school skirts and socks.
Sure.
They start playing, and I don't know. I didn't think they even finished the first song. All of a sudden, there's no music. And one of the roadies comes backstage. Oh my God, they threw a bottle and they hit the lead guitar player in the head and she's bleeding. She's done. They're done. M&R Rush, you're on. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, oh my God. So we get up there and we're playing the first song. And at this point we were throwing in originals. We were probably half originals, half covers. And I started getting pelted with quarters and nickels. They're hitting me and the guitar.
Gosh.
And here comes the guitar solo in the first song. So
they were throwing money at you, Jan.
Yeah. Well, hey. I stood up on the monitor and I became either a target. Well, I became a giant target. And I said, I just pulled one of the best solos out of my butt I could at the time. And I got a couple thumbs up from the crowd, a couple Judas Priest fans in front, and the money stopped and we were able to finish our set.
That's awesome.
That's how I remember that night. And then Judas Priest comes out and Rob, the drum riser was probably 10 feet tall. And of course the front of the drum riser opens up and Rob comes out on a Harley.
Good stuff.
Did I get that right, fellas?
Yep.
Sounds good.
I think so. Good.
We opened up for the Go-Go's too, didn't we?
That was at Loop Fest
Amphitheater.
International Amphitheater.
Yeah, amphitheater.
Same place.
That's a strange pairing.
Yeah.
It seems each era of rock music has had its influence on the Chicago music scene, carved out a Chicago rock sound. The 60s gave us that great blues jazz influenced sound. In the 70s, Chicago rock sound, the vibe was that great power pop, the melodic hard rock that came from bands like Survivor and Cheap Trick and M&R Rush. I think you guys have been very consistent in maintaining that sound over the years, while also evolving, like every good band does, has to evolve. Carl, when you get together to write new music and then enter the studio to record, is kind of staying true to that kind of Chicago 70s rock sound something you guys work at, or is it something that just happens? It just comes naturally?
You know what? I think it just comes naturally for us. I think that's who we are. We're Marshall amplifiers, big drums, big bass, Fender Rhodes, B3 organs, a little bit of ELO violins, and but as we record new stuff, I know that everyone likes changing a little bit. So we are acoustic stuff. We're doing more now. And with the acoustic stuff, we're adding, adding flutes to it a little bit. And we're up to experimenting, but you know what? We are who we are. We like to rock. And I think we do a good job at that. Anyone else want to come on in? Okay.
No, I totally agree with you. We are, we are who we are. We actually in the mid 80s tried to go a little different direction with a couple songs and trying to fit the 80s sound that was coming out at the time. And we looked at each other and went, nope, going back to who we are.
Yeah, I think it's said very well. We are who we are. And we go in there and we create, and it comes out sounding with the M&R Rush harmonies and the dual guitars and the rhythm section. So we are what we are, and we're proud of it.
I went to high school in the 70s, and that's an important sound to me. That Chicago rock sound is just something that I grew up loving, and I still love it today. And that's one of the things that makes the brand new EP so great. Who produces your records? Have there been any changes in that since signing with Color Red Records?
Again, a lot of the things that we've done over the years have been all created within the band. And over all the years, as John and Jeff have been producing the band, mixing the band and then recording the band. So, Jeff, why don't you kind of explain how we go about the process?
One thing at a time is what I'm feeling right now. So we start with the basics of the idea. Say, okay, here's the idea. I'm going to go in the studio with Marty. I'll say, all right, I got a riff. We just did this the other day. We came up with just a nice riff to the drums, and we started from there. And it's kind of like starts there again, start all over again. And then we'll build up the whole song all the way to the final background vocals like a month from now. So that's kind of the process it takes for us to get to the whole sound we want.
What about recording, mixing, mastering? How did the technical aspects of the new EP in particular come together, and where did you guys record?
Well, we recorded it at Star Tracks Productions. At the time, Star Tracks was located in Homewood, Illinois, and now it's moved to Mokina, Illinois. But we went in the studio and we had sent the finished songs. We sent them to Color Red, and we said, these are the 5 songs. And then we went through each one, and they said, well, listen, guys, we're looking for different markets here. Like Nick had mentioned, they were looking to get us in, hopefully some movie soundtracks or commercials. And so they just listened to the record, each song one at a time, and gave us suggestions on how they felt, because again, we all arrange the songs together as a team, but Jeff and I do the final production as far as, EQing it and maybe adding a few additional parts here and there. But they gave us some suggestions of what they thought we should do to make it more viable for commercial success. But they were suggestions, which was pretty cool, because you hear horror stories from other bands if you look in some of these documentaries and how record labels made them do it this way and made it do it that way, and Color Red has been fantastic. So we went through each song one at a time, made some changes to them, and then they sent it out to have it mastered. Again, before we'd had it mastered locally. Not to say there's anything wrong with having that done, but they sent it out to a national mastering house that has mastered some pretty successful tunes in the past. So yeah, they got involved with that with us. They took that from us. So yeah, it's been a great working relationship with them, and I look forward to the projects we have down on paper for the future.
I have to give Jeff and John kudos, because they're the two who start the whole thing up and get the sound that we enjoy. It sounds like M&R Rush, and then they're the two that really do that.
I love the freedom that we have creating, and that's what's the best part about this whole thing. They're not telling us what to do, like John said. It's up to us, whatever we want to do.
Sure. Carl, you've written or co-written many of the band's songs over the years, and you guys were just touching upon some of this. How do these collaborations usually work with M&R Rush? Is there someone who is prone to coming up with music while someone else is on lyrics, and maybe someone has a knack for arranging? You just said that kind of you all sort of participate in that. Is it just kind of a thing where you all do a little bit of everything and it just depends upon the situation? How does this all mesh?
It all depends, but I know the songs that I write, I have an idea, and we go in there and pretty much work out those ideas, and then usually I let John take over and he adds his parts. A lot of times he doesn't even want to know what key the song is in or whatever. He just wants to he just wants to fly by the seat of his pants and put it down there. But sometimes those are the best takes.
Kind of a jam band thing.
There's been many times where we just get together, maybe not even learning the song previously, and put it down. After learning the song, after an hour or two, then we put it down on record it. And it comes out great. Yeah, so it works out.
Sometimes it seems like, if you've heard over and over in rock history about the song at the last second, that just sort of falls together, and there it is. It ends up being, one of the most memorable songs of a band's catalog. I'd like to go through some of the tracks, if I may. The songs on the new EP are fantastic. The title track, Goodbye City Lights, it really sets the tone for the EP. Written by Carl, John, and Jeff. Can you guys give us some insight as to the inspiration for that particular song?
I've always been a Styx fan, and so that was my answer to "Come Sail Away." So I started it off with piano, and then it builds. It has the guitar harmonies in there, and it's kind of weird. I pulled up on the computer about a week ago, "Come Sail Away," and I decided to finally learn it after all these years. And it has the same chords as "Goodbye City Lights" in it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" I didn't even know this, and but it's kind of fun. Yeah, that's pretty much how "Goodbye City Lights" is a song about paradise, and actually being at home for me is paradise, and so really saying goodbye to the city and being at home with your family, that's paradise.
Maybe that's probably why it strikes such a chord with me, because I'm the same way. My idea of heaven is just to have nothing that I have to do. I just want to be at home with my wife and my cats, and and I think that vibe really comes through in the song. "Time Waits for No One," another song we've been playing a lot on Xrock lately, written by John. It features an appearance from another Chicago rock alum that you guys know well, Chip's Enough of Enough's Enough. Tell us about that, John.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. We actually were recording that song at a home studio in Blue Island, Illinois, which at the time was co-owned by Chip from Enough's Enough. And we'd put down all the music was done, and I was in there doing the lead vocal. And I remember I heard the front door close because it was in a house, and one of the bedrooms was converted into a vocal booth. So I'm in there singing, and I kind of heard some commotion. I heard a door close and kind of opened the door, and I see Chip coming in with a suitcase. So he was just coming back from being on the road for I don't know how long, month or two. And
please tell me he had the Chicago police hat and the giant sunglasses on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course he did. Yep.
And you know where he did the vocals at? He did the vocals in a room that we called the Goop Booth.
The what booth?
The Goop Booth.
Goof. Okay.
GOOK. That's weed.
Oh, okay.
He goes, "Hey, bro, I got to cut the vocals in the Goop Booth tonight."
Why doesn't that surprise me? Why does that surprise me?
That's why I figured I'd bring it up, because he was with the police hat.
Yeah.
So I see him, I wave to him, and I just start singing the lead vocal, and the door opens up a crack, and he goes, Hey, I hear something, John. You mind if I sing with you? I go, yeah, come on in. And we both start singing. So when you hear in the opening, the lyric goes, "When I," and then I take over, think about the times you. That's Chip and myself doing "When I."
When I look into your eyes, I wonder how much longer I can take your lies. Those days are gone forever now. I guess it's time we said goodbye.
And so it added a nice little flavor to it. You know, it's that Enough's Enough Beatlesque kind of harmony. So yeah. So when we told him we were releasing this, we gave him a call and said, "Hey, you're going to be on an M&R Rush record." Like, cool.
We're talking to M&R Rush about their new EP, Goodbye City Lights, on Color Red Records. Find a Way, another great tune. It's a collaboration between John and Paul, I believe, is the song we've most recently added from the EP on Xrock. What inspired the lyrics for that track? Did you guys both write the lyrics together?
No, I wrote most of the lyrics. John came up with the opening guitar riff. He had basically the whole song, and he had a couple of words, which often happens. Sometimes you're writing a song and all you're doing is going la 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 la. You don't know what the words are going to be, but you've got a melody line. And John kind of had that. He had. He looks in the mirror, right, John?
Yep.
Yep.
And he said to me, he goes, I can't come up with any words. He says, can you come up with some words? So it took me about a week. I came back and I said, yeah, I think I got it. And so the song is about, I found when I write lyrics to a song that I don't necessarily start out with a specific idea. I'll come up and whatever kind of comes out, he wrote, she looks in the mirror. I put, she doesn't know what to say. She knows she needs to get away, but she knows she needs to get away. And it's kind of about the abuse of women. Abuse can be more than physical. It could be mental, or, it could be so many different things. Verbal abuse. And it's about a woman who needs to get away from that. And she finally realizes it.
She looks in the mirror, doesn't know what to say, but she knows she needs to find a way. Her life seems so empty since he's been gone, but she knows it just couldn't go on. She needs to escape. She needs to get.
But I didn't come up with that. I didn't say, okay, I'm going to write this words about that. It's just what came out.
Just kind of materialized along those lines.
Right. I found with other songs I've written too, it kind of just happens.
These days, you guys are all living farther and farther apart. I imagine that you all have to be more disciplined in your writing and recording, using your time effectively once you can get together. Is there somebody in the band who's kind of the taskmaster, the person that kind of keeps everyone on track and moving forward when you guys all are all able to get together?
That would be Ray the roadie. No.
I don't know if I want.
That would be Marty.
I don't know if I want to go as the taskmaster, but I am the taskmaster. There's no doubt about it. That's, the communication, and you started off this interview about the longevity, and the music brought us together, and we've become great friends, and 50 years later, we're still writing new music, is still working together and collaborating, and it all starts, just with the communication. And then we plan things. I mean, like this week, Jeff had called and said, hey, I got this riff, come on over. I wanted some real drums on it. I go visit him. We lay something down. We send it to John. And the taskmaster says, hey, when can we get together? Right, John? And John goes, hey, anytime we get together with Jeff. And then we lay some things down, and now John sent that to Raj. The taskmaster comes in and says, hey, Raj, when can you come in from India and lay down, a bass line to this new song that they're working on? So, I like to believe that I'm the coordinator, not the taskmaster. But if you talk to all of them individually, probably say that there's a lot of times over the years that I have become a real taskmaster, but I'm trying to work on that, Scott, and just go with the flow,
We have a new nickname for you.
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster. Yeah. Think of me when you guys.
We will.
I know coming out of the pandemic, I've talked to a lot of bands who, did recording. You mentioned kind of the piecemeal when somebody is able to come in and record, like you said, the bass part. Have you guys done any where somebody at their home studio records a part and then just sends it and you add it? Have you guys done any of that?
We're actually
not yet. We're working on John to have a system at home.
Well, I did that a little bit. I had a song recently and I sent to Jeff, and Jeff added some guitar parts and sent it back to me. And we did some recording of some videos of all of us at different at our homes playing some of our songs, and so they're out there to see.
It's amazing how technology has changed over the years. And, I think the pandemic kind of rushed some of that stuff along too. And, made even more things possible because, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We're talking to the members of M&R Rush about their new EP, Goodbye City Lights. And I know Nick from Color Red had to run, but we were talking earlier about the vinyl. And I just love the fact that that vinyl is back and this new EP is on vinyl. I love the packaging, as I mentioned, and I'll touch upon that coming up as well. But Marty, why vinyl? Talk about that.
Well, a couple things. If you remember, Scott, you were around, and when we came out with our first EP, it was 1980, and it was on vinyl, and people were still buying lots of vinyl back then.
Sure.
But over the years, with the age of the internet and with digital, things have gone away with vinyl, but it's coming back. So when we got together with Color Red and they threw out, hey, would you feel that some of your people that follow you, would they buy vinyl? And we said, well, we think so. That was about a year ago. And then doing some research and seeing how vinyl is coming back and all these stores that are popping up everywhere. We got together as a business decision with Color Red, and they said, yeah, we'll put out vinyl. So we're very excited that the vinyl's out. We're proud of the package. And we're finding out that a lot of people are going out and buying turntables when they gave them away in the past. Sure. And buying our record, which makes us feel very, very proud of that. Plus, myself, I've always been a vinyl enthusiast, even though that I haven't been buying a lot of vinyl over the last couple decades. I'm starting to buy more now, obviously. But the sound, I mean, he mentioned 180 grams of vinyl. It just has that warm sound adds to the music in my ears and a lot of people's ears. So that's why we came out with vinyl.
Plus, it's just great for the art. And that to me, that was part of the whole experience growing up. There was the music and then the packaging that you got with the album. And I would just, lay there on my bed and listen to the music in my headphones, and I would pour over the liner notes and check things out. I love the skyline on the front, obviously Goodbye City Lights. Boy, that works well with Chicago and M&R Rush, two things that just go great together. Is this an aerial shot on the back of the Roseland neighborhood?
Yes.
By any chance? Is that what that is?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And you got, you kind of have to almost kind of a subliminal effect of like the old M&R Rush button and the Roseland logo there. And there's some other great stuff for the fans to check out in this packaging that'll really send you back. Even Giovanni's Pizza, there's a little menu on here on the back. That's good stuff.
And Zordon Music, where we've bought all our equipment. That was a little plug.
Yeah, it all has some meaning to us. Like John said about Zordon Music, that's where we bought our equipment at, which is kind of embedded in there. And like you said, Giovanni's Pizza was a place my mom owned. We used to go there all the time for pizza.
And today is Aldo Zordon's 93rd birthday. He's still with us. God bless him.
Happy birthday.
There you go.
We're talking with the members of M&R Rush about their new EP, Goodbye City Lights, on Color Red Records. I've been hearing great songs on the EP, and fans of the station Xrock 1039 have been hearing the songs. So folks are going to want to know where they can get their copy for themselves. John, where can we buy the new M&R Rush record?
Okay, well, first of all, we're real proud that you can buy it online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Best Buy, and Walmart. But we've also been busy getting it. We've got it in 42 record stores in Northwest Indiana and in the southern and western suburbs of Illinois, and even down in Indianapolis. We have a list of those stores on our website and our Facebook pages. So rather than go through every all the 42 stores. They can go to our Facebook page or our website, and it lists all the stores that have it. We're finding that, again, I think that the record store owners are impressed with the history of the band and the cover itself, and it's been very successful reaching out to all the local record stores, which I found, this time last year, there was about half as many as there are now. So talking about the resurgence of vinyl, it is definitely on. We caught this at the bottom of the wave. So we're looking forward to getting more out to more of the record stors.
The other thing too, Scott, you can get it also, like John said, on our website. You can actually order it on our website at mnrrush.com. And the other thing, I know that Nick had to catch a plane, but they are going to coming up with a plan to start marketing in Japan, the vinyl record in Japan. So we're very excited about that.
And you talked about looking forward. Can we talk about what's next for M&R Rush on Color Red Records? Do we have plans looking forward in the not too distant future, I hope?
Yes. So what the plan is normally in the wintertime, we go into what's called hibernation, being from the Midwest, and we really don't see each other or rehearse a lot or get together and write a lot. It's kind of changed this year as we've been getting together quite a bit, working, I call it noodling on new songs, new ideas. The guys have been working real hard on individually writing songs and coming up with ideas. So we're going to be spending the next few months spending a lot of time writing, doing demos, with the plan that we'll hopefully get everything recorded and come out with new product next year. So we're spending a lot of time on that. And hopefully it'll be not only digitally, like how most records get out to the public now. We're hoping that the vinyl will be go to press on the new product by next year.
Well, that'll be exciting to look forward to. We're just getting started with the brand new one, and we're really excited to be playing it here at Xrock 1039. Everybody at the station really loves it. You guys did a fantastic job on it, and I congratulate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Scott, on behalf of the band, I want to say thank you for taking the time to do this interview, and thank you for all your support over the years, and especially the way that you've been playing the heck out of the new record. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Well, they're
Scott,
great songs, so that makes it really easy.
Scott, can I ask you a question?
Marty Rosen. Oh, sure.
Do you remember what was your favorite song that M&R Rush played at the very first concert that you went to when you saw M&R Rush? Do you remember?
Boy, I was in junior high school. I remember, some of the covers that you guys played.
Yeah.
I remember you guys playing Head East. I think I was in 8th grade, and was You're the Only Woman? Was that a song that you guys had recorded by then?
Yeah, we were playing it even before we recorded it. That was played in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that song. It's always been one of my favorite songs by the band. So if I didn't hear you guys play it at that one, I must have seen you subsequently, because I remember hearing that song live once. Yeah. I mean, not recently, since I've been in radio, because I've seen you guys a couple of times more recently, but talking like back in the 70s. So.
Nice. Well, the people can find us at mnrrush.com, and where else social media wise, Marty?
Oh, like it says, we're on all the platforms. You can listen, please listen to it on Spotify and
got your stuff on my Amazon library right here. Yeah.
It's all over there. And we would love you to become followers on Spotify to our music. So it's everywhere.
And we're also on Facebook. I have a Facebook friends page on Facebook. M&R Rush Friends, right? Friends of M&R Rush.
It's a great page. I love that page. Yeah.
So you can always find out more about the band there too.
Marty Martirosian, Roger Hertz, Carl Mosier, John McFarland, Paul Martin, and Jeff Loof. M&R Rush. It's really exciting talking to you guys again. It's exciting seeing you guys all on my screen here together. And thank you so much for letting me join you today.
Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate the support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.